The Shy Fish. This story is inspired by the Baha'i writings. Deep down in a reef within the Sea of Secrets, there lived a shy pufferfish called Puffy. When he plucked up courage and said something, the other fish would look at him. So he would turn bright red and puff up like an inflated balloon. He would keep getting bigger and bigger and redder until he was too big to fit in his cave and hide. He decided the best thing to do was to stay in his cave all day long, like Herbert the hermit crab who lived next door. The Sea of Secrets contained magical words. One day a sentence drifted into Puffy's cave, telling him to look at the wonderful ocean instead of worrying about himself. It's all very well being told to do this, he thought to himself, but it doesn't make me feel any braver. There's the sentence. It says, look not at your own capacities, for the divine bestowal can turn a drop into an ocean. What he did not know, however, is that the words in the Sea of Secrets had a special power which could transform his heart. Can you see all the words on his scales? They say the fishes must not look at themselves. They must behold the ocean, which is vast and wonderful. The next day, another sentence washed in, allowing Puffy to see himself as united with all the other fish in the sea. And the sentence says, your souls are as waves on the sea of the spirit. Although each individual is a distinct wave, the ocean is one. All are united. Puffy decided to try thinking this way, seeing himself as one with all the other fish in the ocean. He swam out of his cave, looking only for the beauty of the reef's colours. He saw a joyful clownfish and a school of minnows darting past in a zigzag pattern. Then he noticed an angelic angelfish, a seahorse which had its tail linked around some seaweed, and an oyster growing a precious pearl. Puffy was surprised to see Herbert standing in a row of hermit crabs, each one waiting for a bigger shell to swap into. Even Herbert has to come out of his cave sometimes, he thought to himself. The second time he left his cave, Puffy was very brave. He swam as deep as possible into a dark crevice full of scary fish with big teeth. The next day he swam upwards towards the light and watched patterns dancing on the water's surface. Then a giant whale swam past with her baby and blocked out the lights. The whale was followed by her friends, a pod of dolphins, leaping joyously through the waves. After a while, Puffy realized he was feeling stronger. He had stopped feeling so shy. He swam over to a shoal of fish, but instead of saying a word, he focused his attention on their friendly chatting. Hello, nice to see you. Have you had a good day? Oh, yes, it's lovely in this lovely warm water today, isn't it? Yes, nice to see you. Bye. The fish said that they were starting a choir and asked if Puffy would like to join them. None of the fish noticed if he went red for singing a wrong note, because they were all following the same tune. This is one of the songs they sang. We are drops of one ocean. We are waves of one sea. Come and join us In our quest for unity, it's a way of life for you and me. The big fish sang deep notes, and the small fish sang high notes. When Puffy sang a solo, the fish looked at him, which made him puff up with embarrassment. Puffy's note would then blend together beautifully, from high to low, in one breath. Because of Puffy's unique style of singing, the choir became famous and were asked to swim across the oceans, bringing music to all the other creatures. Puffy's weakness had become his strength. One day, Puffy found another shy fish hiding in the sea anemones. Because he knew how she felt, he talked to her. The choir swam past, but he wasn't sad for too long for losing them, because he discovered that his new friend Flourish, Flo for short, had a talent for swimming in beautiful patterns. When swimming in the Sea of Secrets, they learned the sentences that flowed past them word for word. Puffy would chant the words, while Flo created a beautiful dance. Herbert joined in using his pincers as percussion, and the oyster rattled her pearl. Puffy remembered the magical sentences which had flowed into his cave just when he needed them. And at that very moment, a sentence flowed into his mouth which told him that the ocean loved him. And here's the sentence. It says, "Could ye gain a true knowledge of your own self, ye would perceive with your inner and outer eye the seas of my loving kindness and bounty moving within you." This inspired Puffy, Flo, and Herbert to put on a special performance for the other creatures, to tell them that the ocean loved them, was kind to them, and wanted them all to be happy. The words they sang heated the cold ocean depths, and their concert was a great success. Puffy's fishy friends came back and joined in with the singing. We are drops of one ocean, we are waves of one sea. Come and join us in our quest for unity. It's a way of life for you and me. Thank you for joining me for our story today. That's the end. Goodbye.